guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa Elvire, licensed stylist specializing in natural hair care. In this video, I will be answering the question, when should I trim my hair? Should you trim your hair? So in this video, I'll answer when and why you should definitely trim your hair. So there's a lot of in the natural hair community, there are a lot of misconceptions about trimming hair and horror stories from stylists that cut a lot more than the person wanted to, and which is why a lot of naturals either opt to trim their hair themselves or they just don't do it at all. So trimming your ends is vital to retaining length, and is vital to retaining length and to help to prevent split ends and breakage. The ends of your hair are the oldest part of your hair. What grows out, the longer it grows, the older they become. So they're more prone to dryness, breakage, split ends, single strand knots. And when you don't cut that off, then your hair starts to break, because those single strand knots, you tend to either pull them out, or even if you cut them yourself, you're not fully cutting all of them out. So in order to prevent that, you should trim your hair every, depending on your hair, I want to say between 3 to 4 to 6 months, depending on your hair. Please do not wait 6 months and then trim your hair if you really needed it around 3 or 4 months. The same way you guys kept up with your trims when you were relaxed and you saw growth, this is the same concept. A lot of naturals don't think about it that way, but when you had your relaxer every 3 months or so, your stylist trimmed a little bit off, and that helped you to retain length. So it is the same concept with natural hair care, is that you should keep up with your trim schedule so that you are retaining length, also with so that you can prevent breakage and split ends. Now the amount to trim should be less than 1 inch. If you need more than that, you probably waited too long, because your hair grows at an average of about 1/4. It just depends. So on average, every 3 months you should have 1 inch of growth, which is why you get relaxers. So every 3 months you should have about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, depending on your hair growth patterns of growth. So if you're cutting 1 inch every 3 months, you are cutting that growth that you're seeing. So you should not be cutting, if you're keeping up with your trims, you should not be cutting more than 1 inch every 4 months or so. It should be less than that if you're really taking care of your hair. So again, you should trim your hair between 3, 4 to 6 months, depending on your hair care routine, regimen, in your hair, you know, how you take care of your hair. Now, understand that if you've waited too long, your stylist may have to cut a bit more. If you tell your stylist you want to get rid of your dead ends, the stylist will cut what is seen as dead ends and what can be seen in our eyes as dead ends. Now, this could be up to 1 inch, 1.5. So if you do not want to cut all your dead ends for some reason, please let the stylist know, so that they know that even though they see 1 inch of damage, they cut less than that. So next time you come, you know, you might not have to cut more. If you wait longer than 6 months, You will have to cut more than you need to, and if you don't, you're just kind of like keeping the damaged ends and trying to retain length. So when you don't cut all the split ends off, they tend to travel up your hair strand and become longer and longer, and now you have even more damage. You can't retain length because you didn't cut off all those split ends. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you keep up with your trims, even if you're natural. Even if you have to do it yourself, I would not recommend it, especially if you were wash and goes. You don't get rid of all of them yourself. You can't see the back of your hair in those twists that is popular. You can't really see those ends. So we tend to cut off a bit more than we need to. So I would definitely recommend going to a stylist that really knows what they're doing, and to trim those ends. I hope I was able to answer your questions. If you have any comments, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.